Okay, I think that somebody asked, in fact, I think it was, I forgot, I think it was somebody who asked me, I think it was Carmen who asked me about 1.3. Why don't we take a look at that problem real quick? 1.3, chapter 1. Wait, are you talking about this one right here? Problem number 1 or Algebra 1.3? Yeah, it's got to be Algebra Review 1.3. Here we go. Let's take a look. And then after that, I'm going to do 1.8 and 1.9. We're going to do a few problems from there, and we'll take a look at what we got going on over there. All right, let's see. Compute the slopes. Oh, okay. Got it. So like this one right here is not as obvious as the next bunch of questions. But this one's pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy. Let's see, I can only say it's 10:30 because I have biology. I guess you guys all have biology, or a lot of you have biology then. I'll try to make this quick. Actually, Sophia and Jen, whoever has biology, why don't we do your stuff first? I don't mean to back not put importance on you, Carmen, but anyway, the answer I think should be 1.5. Yeah, the answer is 1.5 for problem number 1. And what I want you to do, Carmen, is I know that Bradley asked me this question a while back, so why don't you discuss it with Bradley and ask him why is that answer 1.5? You guys can work together on that one. Is that all right with you, Bradley? All right. Sophia, Jenna, whoever has to go to biology and has to leave in like 20 minutes. Carmen was having trouble with 1.3, question number 1. I think you asked me that question before. So whoever has to leave, Dakota has, okay. No. It's actually probably you won't find it on YouTube. But I'll tell you what, I'll make sure to explain it to you after. All right, so somebody asked me a question. Come on. You want to look at Quizzer 1.9? Or the Quizzer or 1.9 first? All right, the Quizzer. Okay, let's take a look at that. And I promised you I would, or what you emailed me this morning was you said, hey, I think your answers are wrong. So I'll tell you what, why don't we check it? Okay, Quizzer, 49 points. How did you guys do? Huh. I have a couple, I got some people doing around the 80% range. The average score is 76. 76 isn't bad. All right, let's take a look. All right. So, question number 14 and 15. 13 and 14, you said. All right, a line perpendicular to this. Type in the slope and give as a fraction if needed. Did I put space? And the base. Okay. I think I remember helping somebody out with this thing. All right, here we go. That would be this question right here. All right. So this is actually the hardest one, I think, out of all the problems. 5x plus y equals 6. 5x plus y equals 6. Is that what the problem said? It's perpendicular to that with f of 5 equal negative 1. All right, there we go. So let's see. Y is equal to negative 5x plus 6. So my slope of this line is negative 5, but I want a slope that is inverse of this, so it should be negative 1/5. I agree. Awesome. Oh, no, you're right. Positive 1/5. I don't know why I let Jenna misguide me into that one. All right. Okay, so positive 1/5. So if I want to figure out my b, then what I would do is I go y equals mx plus b, and I know that f of 5 equals 1. Was that it? F of 5 equals -1. Got it. So I've got -1 equals 1/5 times 5 plus b. This gets canceled. So I've got -2 equals b. So what did I tell the computer? 1/5, yeah. And what did I tell the computer for b? Oh, why did I say 12? Oh, wait. What? You're right, I might have gotten this switched up. It's this problem. Oh, okay. All right. Is that what you guys got? You guys got 2? All right. Okay, let's see. This should be 1/5. 1 space dash 5. Don't ever put dashes. I'm just putting that in there to give you guys some extra. And you got -2. I guess you could put -2 if you want. All right. My answer, Jenna. Did you need me to answer your question? Okay. All right. Genesis, you said you're confused. I kind of did this problem pretty quickly. Here's what's going on. I told you that there was a line that's perpendicular to this line right here. Okay? And so what I need to do in order to figure out what that line is, or the slope of this line, I don't usually like seeing this equation in this form. So I put it in this form by solving for y all by itself. And that's pretty simple to do. Just take the 5x and put it onto the other side by subtracting it. We're good? Let me, chat back with me to make sure you're okay. All right. So now that I know the slope of this line, I know that the slope that I'm looking for is perpendicular to the slope of this line. And so the slope of this line is -5. So my slope should be positive 1/5 because it's the negative reciprocal. And in this case, I'm dealing with -5/1. So the negative reciprocal would be positive because it's opposite of the sign, and you flip it upside down, so it's 5/1 instead of, or 1/5 instead of 5/1. So this is my slope that I'm dealing with. So then what I want to do is, if I have at least one point, which I do, I have the point 5 comma -1 as given by this, then I just plug that into here along with my slope. Actually, I plug the -1 into there, and then the 5 in for the x, and I plug the 1/5 in for my slope, and I can calculate out my b. That's what I got. All right, Sophia, I'm going to answer your question. Why can't they all be worth the same? Let's see. I tried balancing out the points. I don't give points for questions that you have to kind of like answer in terms of like an essay, because what that does is it actually pulls down your grade if I don't grade it immediately. So I make those words 0 points. And because of that, I try to kind of compensate for these points over there. You missed bigger questions worth 4 points. All right. Let me look at this one real quick. I just want to make sure that these are the right answers because I don't. Well, actually, obviously, f of 0 equals 12. I'm almost literally giving this information to you. That is the y-intercept at 12. Because I can tell because f of 0 is equal to 12. All right. And then this one over here, let's see, what is the y-intercept? Or what, I said that, and this is kind of going off of what Genesis is saying. Let's see, the problem is 7x minus y equals 7, or equals 6. So Genesis, I'm saying that I want a line that's parallel to this line. So what I need to do is, the quizzer is due tomorrow. Oh yeah, sure. I'll do the homework for you as well. So what I need to do is I need to get y set all by itself. I think the quickest way to do that is 7x minus 6 equals y. And all I did was I got y all by itself. I switched them. So now my slope is actually 7. So I think that the answer should be 7. And I think that the answer I put in was wrong. It should be 7. I'll trash the rest of these. All right. So I apologize for doing that wrong. I'll give you guys, I'll tell you what, I'll remind myself to go in and give everyone 7.5 points on that quiz who took it. All right, Bradley, why don't we take a question from you? The homework for today. All right, you wanted problems 1 through 5 on the homework, or somewhere between 1 and 10 on the homework for today. All right, no problem. Let's take a look. Okay, let's go to home. All right. Is this one 1.9? Oh, okay. I'll tell you what. It's, let's see. All right, Jenna, I'll take a look into that. Question 11 and 12, it says no answer provided. I'll take a look into that. You're right, though, Bradley. That might be a free answer. I'm not sure if it's going to take off points or give you points, though. You know, it's only fair, I feel like, that this homework be pushed back. Actually, no. You know what? No. I'm done with chapter 1. No, we don't need to push this back. All right, where do they intersect? This is pretty straightforward. Let's see, 7x minus 3, 5x minus 3. Okay. So 7x minus 3 is f of x. And g of x is 5x minus 3. If I want to find out when f of x equals g of x, all I would do is I would say, all right, well, 7x minus 3, that's the f of x part, equals 5x minus 3. So then what I have is at 7x equals, or I'm going to solve for x, so I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So 7x equals 5x. So 2x equals 0. So x is equal to 0. So at x equals 0, these things are equal to each other. In fact, we can figure out exactly, this is the x value, we can figure out the y value by plugging in x into here. Now, if we plug in x into into g of x, we'll have 0 times 5, which is 0, minus 3. So the answer would be y is equal to negative 3. If we plug x into here, we'll have 0 times 7 minus 3. So the answer is still y equals negative 3. So you'll have your coordinates as to where they cross would be 0, comma, negative 3. So I think that I ask you to do this problem in 2 stages where I just say the x value is, tell me what the x value is, it's 0. Tell me what the y value is, it's negative 3. So I just ask you the question in 2 parts. All right. Did you get confused about that, or does that make sense? Oh, I see. I'll tell you what. Let's make that a 0, and technically this is supposed to be an essay formula. But it's worth 0. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is, for this question, I'm just going to delete it. For this one too. It's a good question, but it's not something that I want you guys to have to worry about. All right. Yeah, see, it still is a free question. Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Dalday just deleted it. That's how he dealt with it. All right. Can we go over Algebra 1.8? Okay, Dakota, since you're leaving in 4 minutes, I'm going to go over Algebra 1.8 for you, or review 1.8. Does anyone have any opposition to that? And then, Bradley, I think you're staying, right? Because you're obviously in my chemistry class. You're not in the math or the other class, in the biology class. So, well, I'll answer a couple of your questions after. All right. What in 1.8 did you want me to go over? All of it, or some of it, or what? Okay. All right. I'll do one of these. How's that? Let's check out one of these. So, what I'm doing is I'm asking you. I have to leave soon as well, and I need some help with the quizzer, but yeah, I can maybe help out with the quizzer, maybe in class tomorrow. I'm fine with that. Kind of talk you my way through that. All right. Dakota, what I'm doing here is I'm actually kind of doing exactly what I'm asking you in 1.9. It's just for some reason I'm doing it the harder version of this. One of the things you can do is, well, let's see, negative 4. Okay, wait. Let's do this. Then we'll do this. So the problem is negative 4, comma, negative 45, and 5, comma, negative 18. Those are 2 points on some line, f of x. And then g, as you can see here, crosses through the points negative 1, comma, 9, and 3, comma, negative 1. Okay. So let's do the slope of this. I'm going to put mg as in my slope. So mg is down, let's see, I went down 10 and across 4 is equal to 5 over 2, 2.5. Did I do that too quickly, or do you guys understand how I figured out that information? Okay, I'll tell you what, Sophia. I'll look into changing those 4-point questions. All right. Do you understand where I got the mg from, though? All right, no problem. Okay, what I did was I just looked at the graph and I said, okay, the graph, you're starting at 9, at the height 9, and you're going down to -1 as far as height goes. So I just said, all right, well, that you would need to go down 10. Actually, I made a mistake. It's -10. And then across, you have to go from -4 all the way to 3, so you have to go, run 4. So the rise is -10, the run is +4. For those of you who have to go to biology, I apologize for going over late. All right, I'll take a look at that, but let me finish this for Dakota. All right, and then, so the answer for this is -2.5, and then let's see, the b for this equation, well, here's what you do. You figure out the m, you figure out the b, and that is from homework you've done before. And so you'll have g of x is equal to some number x plus some other number. And then over here, you do the same process, and you'll have f of x is equal to some number x plus some other number. So all these numbers are different. Does that make sense, Dakota? And you can figure that out by doing the problems. I mean, doing that's straight up from your other homework. And then from what I just showed you with this thing up here, you set f of x and g of x equal to each other. And then what you can do is you can get the x and y coordinate in which they cross. And that's all you need to do. So this is kind of like you take techniques you learned from one homework, and you take techniques that you learned from another homework, and you combine those two to do this homework. I think this homework is like a combination of functions 1.3 and functions 1.9 or something like that. Which is curious as to why I assigned it as 1.8. But, okay. Brad, Genesis, the next problem I see is for 1.9 number 3 as the x. I do it wrong. I'll tell you what, why don't we take a look at that then? And then Goldsmith. Either Goldsmith girls. Do you folks have any questions? Need any help or what? Okay, let me see. Algebra 1.9. And Alana. Oh, I almost said it wrong again. Alana, did you need any help? All right, let's see. Number 3. Are you talking about this one specifically? Your answer is 14, and I say that that's completely wrong. Ooh. All right. I'll tell you what. Here's a really smart way to do things. Okay? Genesis, check this out. Either I'm wrong or you're wrong. And I think that, in this case, you might be wrong just by looking at these equations. But Genesis, check this out. I think you'll like this. I'm going to go into our class. Okay? And I'm going to show you how to cheat on this homework. I'll show you how to cheat on all these problems on this homework. All right, so go to the graphing calculator. From now on, use this graphing calculator, okay? And it's not really cheat. It's kind of just get a good idea to see whether or not you're in the right ballpark. Okay, what I'm going to do is, let's see. Let me take this graphing calculator, pull them side by side. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is go to the graphing calculator. Okay. I'm going to go f of x, or y1, is equal to 1/3 times x minus 2. And over here, I'm going to go to 4x minus 13. So this is the graph of one of them, and this is the graph of the other. And I'm going to ask the graphing calculator to graph that for me. Okay. Now where they cross, where they equal to each other, is actually where they cross. And as you can see, is the x value as to where they cross is at x equals 3. And you can see that the y value as to where they cross is y is equal to -1. Or at least it looks very close to -1. The reason why I'm teaching you how to do this, and I say that it's not cheating, but it's really advantageous to you, is for two reasons. First of all, you'll have access to this calculator when you actually take any test. When you take a test, you'll have access to this calculator, and so you'll be using this calculator for this year, any test that I give you. Plus the EOC, the official test you take for math, you'll have a calculator that is just like, if not exactly the same as this calculator. The second reason is because this doesn't give you the exact answer. It just gives you a ballpark figure as to where those things get really close to. Does that make sense? It doesn't tell you, it could be like 2.999 or something like that. And in order to solve that, you would actually have to solve it out. But at least when you say, hey, this, at least when you say your answer was 14, I mean, you can look at this graph and say, wow, I was way off. Okay, Genesis, what you need to do is you need to go to when you go to the calculator, I think it defaults to this view right here, just the regular one. Hit that graphing button. All right, yeah, Bradley, I'd love to help you out. Let's take a look at that. Genesis, tell me if that's in the ballpark of what you're, I mean, if you're able to kind of figure out how to navigate that thing. Hey, which problem is number 13? Because it doesn't show me which one's 13. Is there like a number over here in the question that is problem 13? Bradley. Oh, okay. All right. I'll tell you what. I'll take a look at it this way then, and it might show me the questions. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Number 13 is this one right here. Is it this one right here? Oh, it's the one with the toy cars. Let's see. The one with the toy cars. Oh, is this one right here? It's question 11, I guess. Okay. Here's what I would do. All right, I can get a remote control car for really cheap, $2 a piece, if a person travels to Bangkok and picks them up. But I have to pay $1,500 in airfare and $500 for lodging, while I'm there. My cost for buying a car is given by the formula 2x, so that's 2 times the number of cars you have. Oh, okay. 2 times the number of cars you have plus 2,000. I think I have buyers for the U.S. who are willing to pay $8 a piece. Okay. How many cars would you need to solve? So basically what you're doing is you're saying 8x equals 2x plus 2,000. Or, I'll tell you what, for Genesis' sake, Genesis, are you able to get to this calculator right here? Okay. Then click on graphing. Did you do that? Okay. So one of them, I'm going to graph 2x plus 2,000. And the other one, I'm going to graph 8x. Sound good? I wonder how this thing will graph. I actually don't know. We'll see. All right, let's go from 0 to 500. The y scale will go from 0 to 2,000. Huh. Let's see. Let's see, 10 divided by would be 200. 200, so that'd be, oh, okay, 20, maybe adjust the window to 2,500. Okay, let's go a bit more. Okay, sorry. What? Oh, 3,000. There we go. Okay, there we go. Awesome. So, here's what my graph looks like. This is the graph if I went to Bangkok and I bought toys at $2 a pop. Here's my graph if I went to, to the United States and made people buy toys at $8 a pop. And this is how much it would cost me, how much money it would cost me. Does that make sense? So as far as like how many cars, as far as like how many cars you would need to sell in order to make a profit, what you're doing is you're finding the middle point right here. Oh, wait a second. This might be asking for a totally different question. All right. And you can see that the number for that is somewhere between 255 and 357. So I'm betting the number's around 200. That's my guess. And what I was doing, Bradley, is I put in my two expressions here, and I graphed it, and I realized that I couldn't really see anything in the graph, so I adjusted the size of the window to kind of rescale it so I can see it better. That's what I was playing around with. But I'm guessing that the number's around 200. So here's what I would do, is I would go to the table feature of this graphing calculator and go to something like, I just type in 190. All right. Let's type in 198. Huh. All right, so this thing is going up to 2404, and this thing is 1616. I guess it's not 200. Let's see. Oh, maybe it's around 100. Let's see. Let's type in 90 here. And what I'm doing is I'm doing a table that spits out x and y coordinates. And what I want to do is I want to see where this thing, when this thing gets close to each other, when these two numbers are about the same. So I guess I could search for it manually like this. Let's see. Two, 6, 5, 6. Oh, I'm getting really close. Here we go. 2, 6, 2, 6, 6, 8, 2, 6, 7, 2. All right, at 3, 3, 3, I think that's the closest I can get. At x equals 333, those two are the same. So let me see what I was asking for this question, because I think this was a poorly written question as well, now that I think about it. I apologize for the poorly written questions. How do I do that algebraically? See, the reason why I was a little bit confused is because I'm thinking to myself, wait, if one is 2x plus 2,000, right? And the other one is 8x, then I thought that I would just set them equal to each other. And then I would have 2,000 equals 10x. And so I divide this by 10, both sides by 10. And what I would end up with is 200 equals x. Oh, you're right. Oh my goodness. I was trying to do it in my head. You're absolutely right. Sorry, Bradley. If I subtract 2x from both sides, I would have 2,000 equals 6x. No wonder I was looking in the wrong spot. Divide both sides by 6. So what's 2,000 divided by 6? 333 equals x. And here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to see what answer I put in there, what I told the thing to grade your answer as. There we go. So it's the same. I think I need to reword the question a little bit. Say, all right, how many cars do I need to sell to break even? All right. How many cars do I need to sell in order for it to cost me the same if I bought if I traveled to Bangkok COK. It's from Bangkok, BANGKOK. I traveled to Bangkok. How many cars would I need to sell in order for it to cost me the same if I traveled to Bangkok, or if I shipped them straight to the US? All right, so the answer is the same. I think that That's a little bit better worded question, though. I like that better. But yeah, absolutely. Sorry. It's like that commercial, the one about only paying to cover 1/3 of your car. I'm not sure. I don't watch TV. All right. 23 through 26. I'll tell you what. Let's take a look at those. Which one are those? Is it these ones right here? So it's 19, is that what you're talking about? All right. Let's see. A function is parallel to g of x, and is given by that. Oh, okay. This one actually looks really easy to me, but maybe I just typed in the answer wrong. Let's see. The slope to me is 4 over 6, which is equal to 2/3, 0.667. Yeah, that's what I put. All right. And then once you have the slope, and you have one point in there, -12, comma -15, you should be able to get the b pretty quickly. Yeah. They have the same slope because they're parallel to each other. Ergo, they have the same slope. All right. Kai, did you want me to do this part, number 24, I guess? All right, let's do it then. I plug it into y equals mx plus b. The y is -15, the m is -12, and the m is 2/3. So this would be 4. So this would be -15 minus 8 plus b. So b is equal to, sorry, I can't think right now, 7? -7? Is that what you got? And you got stumped on that? Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty simple. I mean, here's another way you can check it, is you go back to that calculator I showed you, and we said that the graph was, all right, let's reset everything here. We said that the graph was 2/3 times x. Genesis, I suspect that the reason why you're having trouble with this graphing thing is go back to that graphing calculator that I gave you, and maybe you didn't put the time symbol, the asterisk over here. So it's 2/3 times x minus 7. And then I just press graph over here, and it usually gives me a nice graph. Let's see. I can zoom out, I suppose. Actually, I can't. Oh yeah, I can zoom out by doing this. There we go. And then, what did it say that it went through? Which point did the problem say it went through? -12, -15. So you can look over here, negative 12 will probably yield something close to negative 15. You can even double check that and type in negative 12 over here and then see what the y value output is. Negative 12 yields negative 15. Okay, we're good. Awesome. Genesis, I have no idea what's the problem. I apologize, I don't know. Alright, let's take a look at this one though. Bradley, you're having trouble with the last one? Oh, okay, this one's a good one. Alright, actually what I want is the slope of this function, okay? So, if this thing is 17, 26, 35, how much does it go up by 9? Oh, oops, I told you the answer. Yeah, it goes up by 9, exactly. So actually, that's the slope right there. Okay, and then the last one, that one's pretty easy too. You're able to find a B element if you know the slope and at least 1 point on this equation. Okay? You're able to find a B if you know the slope and at least 1 point. So we know the slope is 9. Can you give me 1 point that exists on this in F? Well, you mean 17. You need a coordinate. You need two. Technically, it's two. Even though I said 1 point, it's two numbers. So you need it. There we go. 1 comma 17. Awesome. So you plug that into your formula for finding B, and there you go. You have the information you need for that. You know what I should do is I should ask this question one more time and say, well, what is f of 1? What is the 100th term of the sequence? I didn't. I guess I forgot to do that, but anyway. Yeah, that's it. It was actually that easy. All right. I think that we went over a whole lot of stuff. Do you folks mind if Mr. Dalday heads on out? But you folks can feel free to do whatever tutoring you want. All right. And I think that the thing is still recording. So I think that this thing will still record your conversations. I've just been going for like an hour and a half and I'm kind of tired. I have a bunch of emails I need to get to actually. Finish up a bunch of work. Alright. Alright, and I'll try to post up this YouTube video for today. Alright. I'm going to head on out, but you guys can hang. It's up to you. Okay. Yeah, this recording will be saved. I think Canvas is saving this recording, and I'm going to stop the recording now, the YouTube recording. I'm going to do it right now.